And with that, I will bring you Mr. David Barish, who has a modern tale to tell you.
Welcome, David.
Baby, go up. Yes. So, what would Tevye make of one of these things? I mean, we're talking about a guy who was dragged kicking and screaming out of the 19th century. We are talking about a guy who had a difficult time understanding that his middle daughter was going to marry somebody of her own choosing, and somebody who we know where he drew the line with respect to the third daughter. And what would Tevye make of Beth Emet, where we proudly wave the rainbow flag on our website? I mean, what would Tevye do if he had this for a daughter? I just met the cutest guy, she said as she updated status, and then wrote, what a pig, LOL, when he emitted flatus. Her attention diverted from the fellow who really was kind of handsome to a pair of shoes and a window that demanded a ransom. I don't understand, she mailed her friend, why I never get taken to dinner, as if she replied when her friend tried to fix her up with a winner. They're never as cute or as rich as the guys on my iPhone. They smell and they swear the bad clothes they wear that just make me want to scream. Well, her girlfriends insisted, but she sorely resisted when given the chance to make conversation, if not even relations, with the boys at the Yom Kippur dance. But she stayed home with her bubby, not dancing, but washing the dishes. Her social fast continued to last, which wasn't one of her wishes. Her bubby said, darling, if you want to know what I think, you should be dancing, not texting or schmaxting, or sitting and kibitzing with me. They're never as cute or as rich as the guys on my iPhone. They smell and they swear the bad clothes they wear that just make me want to scream. You know, I'm not getting any younger, and yes, there's a hunger. Bubby, I'll go get dressed. So she texted the girl she was putting on pearls and a nice snappy vest. But all she saw were losers and a couple of boozers and one with Roman hands. The only one there without lice in his hair was married and in the band. So she took a cab home, again all alone, unlike all of her peers. Their standards are low, not mine, oh no. She thought as she shed a few tears. So, you know, she recovered from that night, and she tried, in the only way she knew how, to continue to try to make human connection. And speaking of the only way how, I would like to ask you guys, how many of your friends on Facebook would you go have a cup of coffee with? Would you call if you had something important to talk about? It's probably a select group. And you know, it's no different with our friend here. But of her 837 friends, this guy was one of them. And I'm really not sure how he became one of her friends, but he was, and I'm posting all day and stalking all night. I'm sending email that just ain't right. My avatar looks like Fabio, while I'm a guy you can barely call bro. My thumbs want you, baby. My thumbs want you, baby. But if you were here, they wouldn't know what to do. I used to make phonies and abuse the phone. Technology just makes me more alone. I'm slobbering over a big display, and just when you thought it was safe to play, I'm tweeting for you, baby. I'm tweeting for you, baby. But little birdie told me message won't go through. Well, you hit reply and you called my bluff while I'm sitting here in the buff. A real conversation would ruin my day. You're too much, baby, please go away. I can't handle, baby. I can't handle, baby. But I'm a big man all alone inside my room. Well, you know, that didn't work out, and I'm almost certain she defriended that guy. But she still continued in her quest. And when I say quest, I'm not talking about enrolling at a community college in an MRS program. No, I'm talking about an attempt to get real human interaction. And using the tools at hand, she tried something else. What you gonna do when your love life's not fine? What you gonna do when you spend your days online? What you gonna do when you don't like the bars? What you gonna do when you don't make out in cars? What you gonna do when you don't see no one new? What you gonna do? You're gonna fill out a profile and browse all the lads. You separate the gems from the goons and the cads. You specify, intensify, classify, look and spy. Find a guy, find a guy, find a guy, find a guy. You're gonna find a nice Jewish boy on JD. His hair is dark and his nose not small. Boy's got manners and returns your call. He's got a job and a mother and his own car. A street he'll cross, but he wears a style. He's replied to your messages, don't you pout. J-Day boy gonna take you out. You're going on a date with a human boy. He's not just bits, but the real McCoy. Nervous conversation, begin by texting. He play along, but not with sexting. You are nice on iPhone screen. You look up and now are seen. You're both a little nervous about real live talking. You not scaring him and him not balking. You look down to send a reply. So are you, ya tell the guy. He sends a message not hard to understand. A little blush as he touches your hand. You found a nice Jewish boy on your date. So, I ask you, what would Tevye make of this hypothetical, mythical fourth daughter? And I say that he'd give her a chance. He'd show her some understanding. I mean, where was Tevye the last time we saw him? The last time we saw Tevye, he was leaving the old country for America. And you know, that changes somebody. So, you know, Tevye could be with us tonight. Tevye could be one of tonight's performers. But on the other hand, thank you.
David Barish, everyone. That was epic. Judges, what could you say?
I didn't get it.
It was a little too modern, you know? A little too modern for Elaine. Are you on Facebook? Do you do Twitter? Are you a texter, Elaine?
When somebody says they want to be my friend, I get as many as I can because I need friends. But I don't Facebook. No.
You got thousands of them, Elaine.
Yeah, okay. I have something I just want to say. What's the difference between God and a judge? God does not think he is a judge.
I think, fellow judges, she's just thrown down the gauntlet.
Yeah, I think so. What happens when you cross a pig and a judge? Nothing. There were some things a pig just won't do.
Were you just Googling these jokes while you were sitting there?
Yes. What's the difference between a dead skunk and a judge in the road? Vultures will eat the skunk. You're trapped in a room with a tiger and a rattlesnake. Your gun has only 2 bullets. What should you do? Shoot the judge twice.
Is Mort Denlow here?
Are we done? Not yet.
One more.
A judge and 2 friends, a rabbi and a Hindu holy man, had a car trouble in the countryside and asked to spend the night with a farmer. The farmer said, "There might be a problem. You see, I only have room for 2 to sleep, so one of you must sleep in the barn." "No problem," chimed the rabbi. "My people wandered through the desert for 40 years. I am humble enough to sleep in the barn for an evening." With that, he departed to the barn, and the others bedded down for the night. Moments later, a knock was heard on the door. The farmer opened the door. There stood the rabbi from the barn. "What's wrong?" asked the farmer. He replied, "I'm grateful for you, but I can't sleep in the barn. There is a pig in the barn, and my faith believes that is an unclean animal." His Hindu friend agreed to swap places with him, but a few minutes late, the same scene occurred. There was a knock on the door. "What's wrong now?" said the farmer. The Hindu holy man said, "I am grateful for your helping us out, but there is a cow in the barn, and in my country, cows are considered sacred. I can't sleep on holy ground." "Well, that leaves only the judge to make the change." He grumbled and complained, but went out to the barn. Moments later, there was a knock on the farmer's door. Frustrated and tired, the farmer opens the door, and there stood the pig and the cow.
Well, you know, I thought my act was funny, but please.
Thank you, David.
There's not a chance I can compete with
let's
this.
ask the people
and
who
I won't
can
even try.
Mr. Judge Shaw.
I just want to say that on the way over here, I was listening to Prairie Home Companion on NPR, and I was thinking you'd be a great addition to Garrison Keillor's show.
That was most original. Was a little difficult to understand, but most original.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Fair enough. Thank you, David.